This conference will now be recorded.
Possibility that they're over the line.
This phone sounds terrible.
Okay.
Is that, I don't know what's the,
First step, I guess, is the phone.
This conference will now be recorded.
I know she is. I was still wondering.
see, I need to, IT, well, I guess I gotta share my screen first, right?
Did that front door close? That's actually the only real answer. Oh, Verizon. Verizon.
I don't know. Did it?
I'm asking you.
I never done it.
One thing about it, when you get back to the school card, we get a lot of support from the troops. So. Where'd it go? Give me a couple more.
Yeah.
Steve, you can see Steve.
Yeah, yeah.
We got a
I
bunch.
told him we'd put him in the hot seat here in a little bit.
We have some rotten eggs here for. I'm gonna have to pass that photograph with Dr. Fasika's office around. That's pretty crazy. Couldn't tell what about it. That's our new standard.
Yeah, I believe he's got me beat this far.
But Brenna's in there too. Randy, how you doing?
Great, sir. Myself.
Nice to see you. How's the news?
Everything's different.
The police department keeps you busy, man.
Yeah, I do. Find out.
I see that, I talked to Nicole Cook today at Democrat Watch, the Warrensburg paper.
Oh, really? That's good.
They're gonna print over use their advertising staff, and Nicole's gonna manage their borough policy.
Mm-hmm. And Emily's on here, so
How you doing, Emily?
she's muted. But. So you're gonna start writing for them too, Emily?
She's gonna go to Warrensburg council meetings.
Yeah.
Call the council meeting order. This is kind of, I haven't been here for a few, I don't remember how long, but a few weeks, and it's been kind of somber day for me because of Jay's absence. It's been difficult. So we're kind of paying tribute to Jay, and our chaplain is going to have a special prayer for Jay tonight. We're going to have a little bit somber, quiet time. Campbell?
Please pray with me. Dear Lord, Honorable, I come to you this evening to ask your guidance and blessing on our mayor, our city administrator, council members, and staff as they make decisions affecting our community. Tonight we mourn the sudden passing of our friend Jay Lane, who is such a palpable picture here at City Hall and the community. We take just a few moments in silence to honor Jay, please. We are happy tonight to have our mayor back with us and to know that his son is recuperating from recent setback in his health. And we're so happy now that Mayor John is back with us. We pray for the recovery of our president from the Chinese virus, his continued health. We also ask your blessing on all of our first responders who risk their own health and safety to assist us, our police and fire department, sheriff, hospital, and all the health providers. Please help us protect our republic from those who would destroy it. And bless us all and keep us from harm. Tonight, with our loved ones, and until we meet again, all this we ask in your holy name. Amen.
Thank you, Captain. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Lehman,
Here.
Holden,
Here.
Dawson,
Here.
Waters,
Here.
Richardson,
Here.
Cross,
Here.
Foster,
Here.
and Ryan.
Here. Chief Farrell, you'd like to make your presentation for a service award?
Thank you. Josh, would you step forward, please? Tonight, I get a couple of honors that I get to participate in. First one is Josh Nelson is a driver engineer with the department. This came to us on the 7th of September of 2010. Is currently an instructor in our fire academy, is qualified as an FTO and works with our new hires, and has become an excellent mentor for a lot of our younger firefighters. And in fact, tonight he will be pinning one of our new people as a mentor for him. Josh is married to his wife Anna, and they have a daughter who is almost two, and another one on the way in later this month. So the family is growing. So anyway, Josh, congratulations for completing 10 years, sir, and that is to you. And thank you.
All right.
Jacob, would you step forward, please? Our badge pinning, as you know, this is kind of an important part in the life of a firefighter as they kind of begin their career in the service. Jacob has been with us since September of 2019. He's completed his Fire 1 and 2 certification testing and is currently involved in the EMT class. Normally, they're not awarded their badge until the completion of that. However, with the COVID issues, there's some issues trying to get him through his testing because they're not doing any cert licensing testing at this point. Jacob is a local resident, was raised in today at Kenneth Smith Cotton High School. And Josh, as I was talking about, Josh has been selected by Jacob to do the badge pinning for him. So if you would step forward, Josh. And while you're doing that, I'll read something. Josh and sir, this letter is to congratulate you on the successful completion of your probationary period with the Sedalia Fire Department. You're now entitled to wear the badge and helmet shield of the Sedalia Fire Department, as do the present and past members of this department. Always remember the long history of service to the citizens of this city that they represent and wear them with pride. I will give you a copy of this letter, sir, and a copy will be placed into your personnel files for history. And this is the one that most of them seem to like more than the badge. Getting rid of that yellow probation, I keep something one that kind of identifies them as one of that. So, congratulations, I'm glad to have you aboard, sir.
So we need a motion for accepting the minutes on the council meeting and special council meeting September 24th.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So we're going into Andrew.
We have one item on the agenda tonight, it's an ordinance approving or authorizing Bothell Regional Health Center to seek $5.5 million to replace 8 of the 23 air handlers at the hospital. Finance Director Davis is here for the questions. If council has any discussion.
Any discussions? All right. Kelvin has a good handle on it because he is the new finance chairman for the hospital board. And he and Steve work together regularly. So this is kind of an important part, is this equipment. So we can give Kelvin can give an explanation, and Steve?
Sure. This is a piece of equipment that's pretty, pieces of equipment that are pretty integral to the hospital's operation. It's really the air handlers, they really can't operate without them, literally operate without them, because it is important to the operating rooms as well. But they have been, I think some of the oldest ones are 48 years old, somewhere around in there, and they are literally held together with baling twine. There is a piece of baling twine that is holding one of the vents open, so it is something that we're going to have to replace at some point in the future. The COVID makes it more important to do it now. I don't know if we wouldn't be here in the same place asking for the same thing if not for COVID. But the COVID sure makes it to where it really needs to happen now. And the reason being is our current air handlers will not handle the HEPA filters or the UV lights. And so we're, in a lot of ways, just recirculating the same bad air. But then also we can have a few rooms, I can't remember exactly how many, but we can have a few rooms that are negative pressure, which keeps the infectious disease from spreading from room to room. With that, I think it's limited to like 6 or so.
Right now we have
5.
5. This will expand it, including the 16 days of the ER. Will expand it out to 40.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So it not only will allow us to clean the air much more efficiently and better, but it will allow us to have way more negative pressure rooms. So if we do get overrun by COVID patients, we have enough room, enough negative pressure rooms that we can keep them. And as I understand, that's really what happened in New York is they didn't have enough rooms to where they could keep negative pressure. So the air handlers just kept recirculating the disease throughout the whole hospital and kept infecting more and more people. So we put in the ordinance $5.5 million. We really think it's going to be under $5 million. But what this stage is, or what this ordinance does, is it declares our intent so that if we want to, we can do it as tax-exempt financing and reimburse ourselves for any costs from this day forward that we incur. And then also it really authorizes Steve and his staff and to go out and search out what is the best financing, what's the best deal for us.
So when you say we, define that as it's a hospital, not the city of Sedalia.
Yeah, and thank you, because that is a very important part. By our code of ordinances, this can only be repaid out of hospital resources. So even though it takes council to authorize the debt, it can only be paid from the resources of the hospital. So the bondholders can't come back to the city and say, hey, the hospital didn't pay us, you owe us. No, they will understand when they buy the bonds that they're only payable from hospital resources.
So any council questions?
How long time frame is this? We're talking about the code and everything, and our current system not working correctly. How long are we looking at this to be from start to finish?
The bids have already been kind of bounced around the manufacturers already, and they were sent out to train, and I can't remember the name of the other manufacturers, but they're going to be back within mid-month. And then once those bids get back, then the bids go out to the construction crews. And those are set to be back December 1st. And they think that the HVAC systems will be built and ready to be installed at the end of June. It would take a couple months to do.
Yeah, just to clarify, they're working as designed right now, and through the good work of our maintenance staff, they keep them going. So I don't want to give people the impression that our hospital is dangerous right now. It's not. It's just it can be so much better with these upgraded units.
What you gave me is the mechanical side of it, the financial side of it. This is what we're authorizing for you to do, to figure that out. You can't buy it until you get financing. So therefore, that time frame changes.
I don't know if I understand the question.
Yeah, this intent, included in this intent resolution is that they can go forward and they could pay for it and then reimburse themselves as soon as it gets closed. So, the hospital can short-term cash flow the $5 million. So, even if they don't get it closed before the project's done, they can reimburse themselves out of the project fund. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yes.
And then as far as an amortization schedule, we talked about 5 years for one of them, that one of the people that's engaged, both Steve and I, they're saying they could do that longer if we wanted to do it longer. So I think that's part of what Steve's going to be looking at is what makes the most sense for the length of amortization.
Right now, with us, the interest rates are relatively low.
Mm-hmm.
And so that term, and they can freeze those rates forever that, whatever that term is, 5 or 10.
Mm-hmm.
Back in April, we authorized a $5 million line of credit. What's going to happen to that $5 million line of credit?
I think that's a very good question, and thank you all for approving that. Within a week after you all authorizing that line of credit, the government passed the CARES Act, and then we also got accelerated payments. So we never accessed that line of credit, and it will expire in October.
Steve, those accelerated payments have to be paid back at some point.
Yes, they do. Right now, they have to be paid back starting within a year. So starting, that's $15 million. That has to be paid back starting in April, and we will have 11 months to pay that back, of which they'll just lower our payment for that period of time. That's part of that right now. Now, part of the funding that kind of got held up in the Senate right now was forgiving some of that, and some of that includes the HVAC expense. That is a authorized expense for the CARES Act.
So do we carry that $5 million contract out there?
That would cover it.
That we authorize? Is that a bid issue?
Yeah, it'll expire, and we just won't.
Yeah, it's just going to.
Any other questions?
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. I forgot that piece.
Leighton, want to read the ordinance, please?
Bill number 2020-182, an ordinance of the city of Sedalia, Missouri, authorizing Buffalo Regional Health Center to seek financing to replace air handlers at the hospital.
Second reading.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Bill number 2020-182, an ordinance of the city of Sedalia, Missouri, authorizing Buffalo Regional Health Center to seek financing to replace air handlers at the hospital.
Final passage.
Roll call, please.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Cross?
Yes.
Foster?
Yes.
Wyman?
Yes.
Newman?
Yes.
Oldham?
Yes.
Dawson?
Yes.
Bogus?
Yes.
Richardson?
Yes.
All in favor?
Thanks, Barry.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you very much.
Thomas Owens, Public Safety.
Public safety, we have one item tonight, and it's in regards to police department entry team equipment. The police entry team wears specific clothing for the safety of the officers as well as the public. This clothing is specifically designed to make them more visible in varying circumstances. This is not a budgeted item for the year, but staff has identified a funding source of utilizing uncommitted forfeiture funds. These funds are not earned until a qualifying use is identified. The staff recommends a budget amendment that would effectively allow us to draw down $1,122.47 of such forfeiture funds held in trust to offset the cost of these uniforms.
Any questions? Marlene, you want to read the ordinance, please?
Yes, it is a resolution.
Resolution, excuse me, that's what I meant to say.
It's number 1914, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Sedalia, Missouri, authorizing an increase in expenditures in the budget for the fiscal year 2020-2021 relating to infantry team uniforms.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Now, the ordinance.
Bill number 2020-183, an ordinance amending the budget for the fiscal year 2020-2021 regarding infantry team uniforms utilizing seizure funds.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Bill number 2020-183, an ordinance amending the budget for the fiscal year 2020-2021 regarding infantry team uniforms utilizing seizure funds.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Foster,
Yes.
Wyman,
Yes.
Lehman,
Yes.
Oldham,
Yes.
Dawson,
Yes.
Bobbit,
Yes.
Richardson,
Yes.
Cross, all in favor.
Thank you. Andrew Dawson, Community Development.
We got one item on the community development agenda. It's an ordinance approving an agreement between the City of Sedalia, Missouri and Robert Rawlings Architects for the survey and inventory of 408 parcels there in the Victorian Capital Historic District. That's part of the SHPMO grant that we received, it was over the summer. And I believe it was a 60-40 grant, us paying $8,000, the state paying $12,000 for it.
Any questions? Marlene, read the ordinance, please.
Bill number 2020-184, an ordinance approving and accepting an agreement by and between the City of Sedalia, Missouri and Robert Rawlings Architects, LLC, for an architectural survey and inventory of buildings and structures in the Victorian Towers Historic District in the City of Sedalia, Missouri.
Second reading.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed?
Bill number 2020-184, an ordinance approving and accepting an agreement by and between the City of Sedalia, Missouri and Robert Rawlings Architects, LLC, for an architectural survey and inventory of buildings and structures in the Victorian Towers Historic District in the City of Sedalia, Missouri.
Final passage.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Wyman,
Yes.
Lehman,
Yes.
Oldham,
Yes.
Dawson,
Yes.
Bobbit,
Yes.
Richardson,
Yes.
Cross,
Yes.
Foster,
Yes.
all in favor.
We have one appointment tonight. I'm appointing Elizabeth Heflin. She is a part of the Amy Group, operating books and records, and the delicatessen and the restaurant and the bookstore at Lady Manufacturing Building.
Maryland,
Motion to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and just for the record, this will be a 3-year term expiring June of 2023.
So that actually is going to, its expiration date's going to be on the last day of the year, I think. We're going to
Yeah,
amend that.
yeah, we're looking at that right now about whether or not those should be we have conflicting ordinances on the books, one January 1, and then we've got terms that are out there through June. So Ian's looking at that right now to figure out how do we fix that.
Right, yeah, right, but good job. So, liquor license, we have a renewal.
We have one renewal this evening for Andrew F. T. Lyons, doing business as CVS Pharmacy, number 10305, at 100 East Broadway. It's for packaged liquor, Sunday sales, and taste testing.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Anything from the council, city administrator?
Yeah, I'll say one thing. I was gone for a week, and when I came back to town Saturday, coming south on 65 and something, I saw this building going up, and my gosh, it made me
And that's something. I've been gone for a couple of 3 weeks or so, and it's almost, they're filling the pool with water right now. So I want to thank Andrew for filling in a great job, and the staff and council members during this period of time. You know, I hate to ask people to do it. It's one of those things, my priority is my family, and it's been that way, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Kelvin, you have any comments?
We miss Jay.
Yeah, Jay was,
It's been a tough week last week, and you know, he'll be missed for a long time. But just thinking a lot about him. So.
Jay was one of those guys, he always had a smile, and he kind of made your day coming in here. As opposed to coming in and talking to Kelvin, I could get a smile.
You know, I've only known Jay for 2 years since I was on zoning and planning. And, often he would bring us the water and say, "Where's my beer?" And he would say, "On my last day, I'll bring beers." What are you going to do, partner? That's what I want a case of beer for. I wish I did.
Yeah, he was a special person. Anybody from the audience like to make a few comments tonight? Thank you for coming. We'll have a motion to adjourn.
Hearing none from the floor, I'll make a motion to go to closed door session in regards to section 16.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed?
Thank you all.
Thank you.
25 minutes.
I will, thank you.